Stand right there, sir. Are you going to be speaking Noel, or will it be just him?
Mitch will take care of it.
Your name, sir?
I'm Mitch Tyner, and I'm the lead counsel for the McDaniel campaign.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to have a little time today. First of all, before I get started, I'm going to update you a little bit on where we are on the McDaniel legal challenge. But before I do, I want to say thank you to over 50 clerks, circuit clerks in the state of Mississippi who have been extremely helpful and bent over backwards to help us gather the information concerning eligible voters. There's been some rumor or innuendo about what's going on, and I really just wanted to clear that up today. On Thursday, pursuant to the statute 2315-911, we served notice on the Cochran campaign that we would be viewing all of the information in the ballot boxes. Today at 9:30, people that were trained on behalf of the McDaniels campaign went into every courthouse in the state of Mississippi to review those ballot boxes. I'll say again that it's been reported to me that the vast majority of the clerks have been extremely helpful in getting through this information. What we're looking for, and it's very easy, you've all heard this already, we're looking to see how many ineligible voters voted in the runoff. And that's the simple process. Once we've completed that, we will file the actual challenge to the election. That challenge will first be filed with the Mississippi Republican Party, the State Executive Committee. From there, 10 days later, an appeal can be filed for judicial review. So that's where we stand today. That's what we're doing today, and we won't know the results of going into all of these courthouses until later on tonight. As you know, there's been a lot of allegations, a lot of reports of voter fraud. There's been all types of calls coming into the campaign, coming into my law office, and we're following up on all of those leads and making sure that the integrity of this election is not compromised. In fact, as we've gone through this process, we're surprised at the amount of evidence that continues to come forward that shows us that there has indeed been election fraud in this case. And we do not want to see any election decided by ineligible voters. It is imperative that an ineligible voter be excluded from this, because when I vote and there's an ineligible voter that also votes, he dilutes my vote. He dilutes your vote. So we want to weed out all of the ineligible voters. Finally, one of the things that we know is very ripe for fraud in the state of Mississippi are absentee ballots. And I can't remember the exact quote, but I believe it was Mayor Dupree who said, there is no way that voter ID is going to stop much fraud in Mississippi. In fact, he said, if you want to stop fraud in Mississippi, you need to get on top of absentee ballots. That's where the fraud is occurring. And today is the first time that we have been able to go into the courthouses, look in the ballot boxes, and determine exactly what is contained in there, which includes the absentee information. And so that is what we're going after today. I'll conclude by saying once again, thank you to the circuit clerks who have bent over backwards to make sure that there's integrity in this election in helping us review this information. For the few that haven't helped us, I say shame on you. Let's go ahead and get in these courthouses. Let's get this information out, and let's get the process on and get it over with. There's a case that we have pulled. I believe it's Sarton. I've got a copy of it here. I didn't bring as many for everyone, but I'm gonna hand this out to you. Sarton versus Barlow. And that's a 1954 Mississippi Supreme Court case. And it talks specifically about going in and verifying what is in those ballot boxes. And not only do they say that it is a candidate's right to get into those ballot boxes, it's a candidate's responsibility, because without that check and balance, there's no way to ensure the integrity of the election process. And so anybody that would like a copy of that, till they run out, I'll give them to you.
Let me ask you a question.
I'll take a couple of questions.
Last week, we were told that the numbers of voter irregularity or voter fraud, however you want to define it, found by the McDaniel's campaign eclipsed 5,000. Is that still the case, or is that number higher? I don't know the exact numbers. I know there's several thousand that are absolute ineligible voters, and every one of those ineligible voters is going to dilute your vote. It dilutes your vote. It dilutes your vote. And so we want to weed out all of those ineligible voters.
Mitch, can you tell me what you found by examining the absentee ballots today?
I cannot. Those reports are still coming in. Those are being logged by trained people that have gone in with their forms to fill out, and we'll have more on that later this week.
How soon will we know?
Later this week, we should have some idea of what all they found.
Do you feel you have to have 6,700 examples to warrant overturning this election?
No, we don't have to have 6,700. However, I would be surprised if we don't find 6,700. It's very easy to see the Mississippi law holds that if there's the difference between the Cochran camp and our camp, that vote difference, if there are that many ineligible voters, then it's automatically a new election.
What does
Mr.
McDaniel?
It sounds to me like
No
this
further
is.
questions.
Does
Thank you very much.
want to have
This is not a
new
matter of
election?
when, but if.
Mitch, can I get a copy of that? Only a couple hours.
Sorry, guys. It is. Look, this is the case site.
Hey, Mitch, let me ask.
There's your case site, Sarton versus Barlow, 1954.
Sounds to me like it's not a matter of will you challenge, but when.
Applications after the applications and
Hey, Don.
Howard? Let me call you later.
Yes, you may.
It's not a matter of if you'll challenge.
Hey, Nick. Is the ultimate, is Chris's ultimate goal to get a new election? Have this election brought out?
The ultimate goal is to ensure an election that is by the people, that it is an election with integrity.
Well,
that is really the ultimate goal.
The fact that he's questioning the runoff means that he wants to have a new election.
Well, the goal at this point is to ensure the integrity of the election.
What is the correct remedy for that under law?
The correct remedy is a new election.
Is that what Chris wants?
No more questions.
Is that what Chris wants?
Can you talk about what the timetable for this is likely to look like? I mean, it's...
Hey, Mitch.
Yeah.
How do you spell your last name?
Tyner.
You got a number if we need to call you?
Yes,
PCH, right?
That's right.
Okay, thank you.